third grade. Welcome to Module A, Unit 2, Writing Lesson 9. Are you guys ready to wrap this up? Now, I know that in Lesson 8, we actually finished our narrative stories by writing a wrap-up conclusion. So we've actually should be finished with our writing at this point, because today we are going to do some revising and editing to make sure that our writing pieces are perfect, okay? As perfect as they can be. We're going to be doing things a little bit differently. First, we will take a look at our own piece of writing, and then we're going to have a peer or either someone in your classroom or an adult at home is going to look over your writing and see if they have any suggestions as to how you can make it even better, okay? So for today's lesson, you're going to need your writer's notebook with your finished narrative writing piece. Now, if you didn't write it in your writer's notebook, you just need the story wherever you have it written. You will also need a copy of this editing and revising checklist. As always, if you have a paper copy, wonderful. If not, guess what? It's in the Nearpod. So no worries if you don't have a printed copy of it. Last but not least, you will need a pencil or something to write with. So go ahead and make sure you have everything you need, and we will get started. Our learning target today is writers develop and strengthen their writing by revising and editing. And as you can see on the screen, I have put a copy of the narrative, editing, and revising checklist here so that we can take a look at what it is that we will be doing. Now, I understand that with social distancing, that in some cases we may not be able to have a peer or a second person look over our writing. So if that's the case, it is perfectly fine if you are the only one that looks over your writing. But I'm going to tell you this, you need to be honest with yourself as you're going through the checklist and mark things honestly so that you can make the corrections that you need to make in order to make sure that this writing that you've worked so hard on is the best that it can possibly be. Okay, so here's how you complete this checklist. On the column that says self, you're going to go item by item and read those things. So let me start at the top. In the top section it says, introduces the story with a giveaway or tell it like it is or actions and words lead. So if you did that and you are looking at your own story, you're going to put a Y under self, a Y for yes. If you did not do that, you're going to put an N for no. So you're going to go through each item on the list, and if you did it and you see it in your writing, you'll put a Y for yes. If you don't see it in your writing, you're going to put an N for no. So you're going to go through the whole list on your own with your own narrative story first. And if you are able to, you're then going to have a second person look at your writing. It could be your teacher, it could be a socially distanced partner that you trade papers with, it could be if you're at home learning, it could be an adult in your house who then goes through the revising and editing checklist, anyone. But like I said, it's perfectly fine if a second person is not able to go through the editing and revising checklist on your narrative story. So that's the first part. After you have had an opportunity to go through the checklist and either put a Y for yes or an N for no, you need to then go back in any place where you have an N for no. Those are opportunities for you to develop and strengthen your writing. So let's say you put an N for no next to indented paragraph. If you didn't indent your paragraphs, that's an easy fix. You're going to go back in your writing and you're going to make sure you indent. You can fix that, okay? So anything that ends up with an N for no, those are opportunities for you to grow and strengthen your writing. So just to recap, here's what you're going to do today. First, go through the editing and revising checklist for your own narrative story. Remember, you mark a Y for yes and an N for no for each item. Next, like I said, if you can, Have a partner or family member or other adult read your narrative story and use the editing and revising checklist under the peer column, okay? Like I have said a couple of times, if that is not possible, it's okay. Just do the editing and revising checklist for yourself. That's perfectly fine. You just have to be honest with yourself. Last but not least, look over that checklist. If anything has an N for no, edit and revise to strengthen your writing. Now make sure that you are honest and you make these corrections because tomorrow we celebrate.